Okay, I'm going to do a quick video for design tips and tricks. This is not going to be a completely expanded video, but I am going to give you the basics on how to install this. This is the LeMans II from KESSEBÖHMER, I guess it is. And if you look here, there is a face frame cabinet here with a drawer on the front of it. When you look inside, all of these are full height doors. So don't worry though, it's adjustable. It works for either one. A couple things you want to do before you ever start this is that you want to read through this manual. You want to make notes about what these are, because everything in here is in metrics. It's not only in that. Biggest thing is right here on Y, that's 3/4 of an inch, okay? We're working with a Shenandoah cabinet today, and so that's a specific measurement that we're going to have to talk about. And then right here, if you look, if it's greater than Y, which is 3/4, you will need a shim. And so they do not provide a shim in this, but what I found is that toe kick material is exactly the right thickness to be able to pad that out. And the reason is that their styles are 1 5/8 wide instead of 1 1/2. So it's an 1/8 inch bigger. So that instruction set says you have to have a shim to pad this out for that to work correctly. So I cut a piece of toe kick to 2 inches wide by 19 1/2 inches long, and I super glued dots to the back of it so it wouldn't move around while I was putting my screws in. The other thing too is that it says in the instructions that this has to be a 3/4 inch flush finished end for this to work with the screws that come with the kit. And yes, it does. If you look right here, those screws will not work. They will come through on a 1/2 inch end panel. So what we substituted was we used a screw that was a washer head screw that was a 1/2 inch long, and with the thickness of the pad out and the thickness of the metal, the 1/2 inch is perfect. So the screw itself still fits the bill as far as the right size diameter at the top. It doesn't hurt anything, and it allows it to be adjustable. Now, two things that you want to make sure you do not throw away. This guy right here, this is an installation template. Okay, this has specific markings in it, has specific shapes to it, specific length to it, and hole openings, okay? So when we are looking at this fitting into the cabinet, the first thing you want to know is that the thickness or the width of this is how wide that is from the inside. Now, every cabinet made has got glue in the joint here. So you're going to have to set this in here at just a little bit of an angle above that glue to get this flat with a face frame. But that is what this is for on the left-hand side. It's to get you the offset to the back of the face frame for where this piece of metal mounts. The second thing this thing does is it gives you an offset to the wall. So you put it in here to the bottom at the front of the frame like this. And if you look, it goes behind and has that notch. That's where the barrel sits. So with it touching the left, not the glue joint, but touching the left-hand wall. And then over here on the right, that's where your barrel connector nests at the bottom. So you want to make sure that this piece is against the back of the face frame. Mark those, pre-drill them. Everything here needs to be pre-drilled with a tapered bit, number 6 taper, and then install the 3 screws. Next, using this same piece, you're going to put it on the floor of the cabinet. So down there like that, you're going to put it on the floor of the cabinet. And if you'll notice, it actually lines up with the bottom row of the screws. So that being touching the floor down there is the bottom row of these screws. Using the same piece, if you go over here and you put it against the left-hand wall, and you come across, that dictates the center of the center screw. So this little guy right here is everything. It's 22 inches long. It is everything you need to lay out the pattern for the center screws, top and bottom center screws, as well as the pattern for where that piece is on the bottom. Now, I'm 4 minutes in, and I promise you I've been working on this for over an hour. The last thing that comes in this kit are these soft close mechanisms. They actually sit over the top. I'll show you. They actually go over the top of the arm, and then they push in. They actually sit in here. This is how they nest underneath. And so when you open it, it locks the soft close. And when you close it like that, it actually pulls the soft close open, then it gives you that cushion close. I will tell you, you have to take out the drawer. You have to take out the drawer slide on the right-hand side. You have to take the door off the front of this. These pieces simply snap into predetermined slots. They are adjustable up and down, but they are predetermined with the rod. The rod already has these two on it. So when you are done, there will be two positions. Like I say, this is the standard from the company, two positions that are standard. Now when I go to mount this bottom one, you're going to mount that on the bottom of this. This thing locks in, so do not do what we did and take forever to try to take it back apart. When you lock this in, that's it. So you lock in that back pin, which is the shape goes like this. That's the back pin. You lock in the front pin here, and then they work together to slide inside. Now the last thing to show you is that there's going to be some retainer clips. These are locks to keep something from moving around. And if you look at the drawing here, this is what I was telling you about. The end of the stick is the length. The height of the slot from the bottom is the center of that hole. This comes back around to the top, shows you that's the center. There were two brackets, by the way, that came with this. Two installation brackets. One of them is longer than the other. Do not do the same thing I did and use the wrong one. One of them is longer. Throw that one away. The short bracket is the one that you need to use on the back of this. So that one's no good. And then here, if you look, as it comes down, you put your screws in. Again, those have to be made shorter for standard end panels. I'm trying to make sure I don't forget anything. There's the way that the arms self-explanatory. They just pop on. So this post in the middle does fit against the wall with a little leg purchase. And you will see that it drops down into a hole in that bracket on the bottom. And then there is a locking clip that goes into the top of this. There's a hole that it locks into. Those little brackets are on the back of that piece. Next, I think adjusting. This is if you have to adjust it. Again, you have to unclasp it. You have to take the entire thing apart for it to be adjusted. And then I think there's a supplement here. This is the plus. This tells you how to put the soft close mechanism on the arm and how it goes inside. Okay, that was pretty long, but I know that it's going to save somebody some time. If you have any questions, you feel free to give me a call. If I can remember, either that, we'll go over the video together. 423-650-1051, rightwaycab.com. Have a great day.